I am told to welcome in our first guest of the day by introducing him as the better-looking of the two Heimuli brothers currently at the BYU Broadcasting Building.
Mustache
His name
puts
is
him over the
Houston Heimuli,
Yeah.
Stanford transfer, newest member of the BYU football team. Houston, welcome to BYU Sports Nation.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
What's up, man? How long did that take you to grow that?
So this mustache probably took me a solid day or two. If I want to stay with code, I got to keep shaving it just so it comes back.
Did Lake have one at BYU? I'm trying to remember.
He did.
He did?
He did. I just don't think it was as impressive as mine.
No.
I mean, personally, I think mine's the best one.
No, his rushing was impressive.
His rushing was very impressive, and his calves.
And his calves.
And his calves. But I have the mustache right now, so I'll take that.
We were discussing boy bands earlier, and the picture that was taken of you leading your troops out onto the floor when you were introduced to the basketball game.
The hands out, pointing to the rock.
Group of the new football players. How do you feel about being the leader of a boy band, especially with that mustache?
So, my whole life was to become that leader of the boy band. And so I got my dreams were realized, when I got the mic. Almost started singing too. But no, it's
awesome.
it was
Sweet spirit.
You're so nice. Someone said, my brother said Sons of Provo is the tweet, and man, I love that movie, as I've told
It's
told
so
you
good.
before. So good. So I didn't mind it. I didn't mind that name, Sons of Provo. The Brovos.
The Brovos.
Kalani's nephews. I heard that one too. That one was a great one. So whoever did that, shout out to you.
I am Jack DeMooney. Yeah. my first semester at BYU, I go to lunch in the Cougar Eat, and the Sons of Provo, like those guys are like performing.
Oh.
But no one had heard of the movie. So the whole Wilkinson Center in the atrium is like packed, and they're singing, and like no one gets it. No one's like laughing. No one's cheering.
No one gets it.
It was so awkward. And then, but I had seen the movie, and I was like, "Oh, these guys are amazing." It was so weird and funny. Okay, how did you get the mic there? How was it like? Yeah, Houston, will you talk? You're a super senior. Let's go.
It was more like we were all kind of sitting there and like, all right, who's gonna speak? And I had my time of speaking, and so I kind of was just like, all right, I'll let some of these young guys if they want to handle it. But they kind of all just looked backwards, and I was at the back, so I looked. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it.
Like Brooks, Ice, no, okay,
no, okay. I said, I got you. Took the mic and just did my best rock impression, and just rolled.
Yes.
Give 'em a little
People's eyebrow.
In fact, for those who missed it, here's what it sounded like.
As we are to play in front of LaBelle Edwards Stadium coming this fall. Again, we love and we're excited to play for Cougar Nation and for the best student section in America. Let's love, go Cougar.
That was good, dude.
You know how to work a crowd, man.
Into the crowd. It was great, dude.
It's a little more embarrassing when you see it like that, but I thought it was cool for a second.
No, it was great. And I thought the reception from the fans was great.
Yeah.
Of course, this place loves all of its sports. Football is special, right?
Yeah.
What was it like to sort of command the crowd there for a second? And for you and your family, to you have the mic for a moment, you're like literally commanding Cougar Nation for a sec. To go from Lake to now connected tissue with you and Uncle Hema, and that's pretty cool, man.
Oh, it's a very surreal experience for me, just being back home. Kind of back where, it all started for our family, where my love of football began. I can't say I didn't begin football by watching my dad's highlights, watching my Uncle Hema's highlights, watching BYU football. I can't say I didn't grow up loving football because of that.
I kind of feel like this was destined to be, Houston, because you've got ties to Steve Cleveland, the former BYU basketball head coach. He was your mission president.
I didn't realize that until this morning.
Okay.
How was he as a mission president, by the way?
He commanded a mission like he commanded a court, and it was a very efficient mission. And it was very hardworking. It was fun. I loved the mission under Steve Cleveland.
Okay, so you've got those ties. Then there's a picture of you in a male cheerleader uniform that we have rounded up.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think so. Or this looks like a male cheerleader uniform, and you're standing next to a young lady wearing a Steve Young jersey. Where did this picture come from?
So this was a Halloween dance when I was in high school, and yeah, no, I totally forgot about this picture for a while. I think the short shorts look good. I think I could bring that back.
You look good. How many pounds ago was this?
Oh, that was probably a solid 40 pounds ago.
Woo! This is when you were a tailback.
This was tailback Houston back in high school.
Now you're fullback.
Now I'm fullback Houston.
Yeah.
A little more little more rugged now.
As you look at next year's BYU football schedule, and your older brother Hema, who is a producer here, and I have talked about this, and I've talked about it with Jarom.
We've been huge Houston Heimuli fans
Yes.
from the moment
Absolutely.
Hema came
Yes.
here. And you came during the summer and just like hung out with him, and I was like, Houston's super cool. That'd
No
be cool if he was
question.
here one day.
In fact, throw it back to my initial KSL days with him. He'd be wearing Stanford gear, and I see this Stanford helmet. I'm like, what's the deal with that? He's like, oh, my older brother Houston's the fullback there. Well, now you're at BYU, and they close out the regular season at Stanford.
Yes.
I know you're aware of this. How do you handle the emotions of that build up to the regular season finale against your former teammates?
Yeah, and that's a whole different, I'm going back to Palo Alto, and I'm going back to where, I finished my career, undergrad and stuff. And, for me right now, it's just focusing on what I can do best here. This is where I'm at. This is my school. So this is who I need to focus on. And for Stanford, I'm going to have to just be able to, muster whatever emotions I need to beat them,
And it'll be an epic way to finish the regular season, right? Tell us about the dynamic of Stanford when you signed and went there, and sort of BYU, and now where BYU's at. Because the hope is that kids like you want to come to BYU the first time around, right? Because there's Tanner McKee and Gabe Reed and Britton Covey to Utah, da-da-da. Not everyone has to come to BYU. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. There are a lot of great places. But certainly from the BYU perspective, it's like, shoot, can we get Houston Heimuli as a freshman?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think there's where BYU's at in terms of going to the Big 12 and playing much better the last couple of years?
Mm-hmm.
Is BYU in a better spot now, in your opinion, to perhaps get some that go elsewhere?
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting is Kalani's influence on the Polynesian community. And every year he's been building it up more and more. He's already a great figure, but with the success BYU's been having, his outreach he does a lot of outreach to many communities, especially service here in Provo area. Seeing that as a Polynesian player, and especially if you're young now and you're considering where do you want to go, you want to be with someone who you can be comfortable with. And knowing that Kalani's looking out for those players here, especially how this program handles a lot of Polynesian players, this will become more appealing. And then Big 12 obviously will become a huge factor in recruitment. And not to mention, BYU's academics are good. They're great academics. And so all these factors, I think, are going to help BYU roll, especially through recruiting.
Now, it means something coming from you, who have an undergrad degree from Stanford, of all
That's
places.
pretty nice.
And it's, like I said, BYU is one of the few places I wanted to go to because they have a great academic program. And one of the few that I've chosen. This is such a great place.
And is this true that you chose to walk on here?
Yep, so I'm a walk-on
You
here.
really wanted to be here if you're walking.
Yeah, I wanted to play.
Wow.
I didn't want to play anywhere outside of Utah, and BYU is the place I want to play the most. So
Here's to name,
awesome.
image, and likeness.
You tweeted the other day too. You were like, "Hey, any what was it? Medical research?"
yeah, so I need
Did you find
medical.
something?
I did. Again, BYU community is amazing. Like as soon as I came out, all of a sudden it was boom, 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 boom. Here, in fact, I'm meeting with someone today at like 3:00.
Outstanding.
They're just
That's great.
BYU community just rallies around his people, and I love that. It was amazing.
BYU senior graduate transfer fullback Houston Heimuli is with us on BYU Sports Nation. Every football fan wants to know how you view yourself fitting into BYU's offense next year, which brings back a lot on the offensive line and a starting quarterback in Jaron Hall. Where do you see yourself fitting in?
Yeah, and for me personally, coming from my background as a fullback, obviously we be blasting some holes. My goal is to blast some holes for the running backs, blast some holes for wherever Coach Roderick wants to put me. I know that his offensive mind is amazing. The ways he utilizes so many different players is so cool, and I love that. And so my role is just, okay, I'm bringing to the table being a great blocking back, experience in the Pac-12. Whatever Coach Rod wants to take me, he'll take me, and I put full trust in him. I'm just going to bring an attitude and a physical presence to this team.
I love that because BYU used Mason Wake as a fullback / tight end, right? You're like an OG, dinosaur fullback type, which is super exciting because not every defense knows how to defend against it now because they don't have one themselves.
Yeah.
Which is super interesting. I also want to talk about the influence of the Pac-12 on BYU now.
Mm-hmm.
Just running through my mind, I'm like Puka, Washington, Kingsley, Oregon, Stanford, Christopher Brooks, Cal, among others, Sampson last year. There's something about that. Like that experience to almost aid BYU in its transition into the Big 12 of like, what does Power 5 football look like? BYU feels like it's been Power 5-ish.
Yeah.
But the last couple of years, BYU's actually played at a level that can compete in the Big
definitely.
12 soon.
Yeah. They definitely played at a higher level than I think people give BYU credit for. And being a player from the Power 5 team, all of us that transferred and realized, this is a team that competes. This is a good team. And they're going to be moving into Big 12, and they already experience all this, these levels of competition. So this is a good fit for us. It's a place that we can bring at least some experience, especially in Power 5 football. But again, no discredit to BYU because they've been playing like that. They've been playing Power 5 football for years. I think people just don't give them enough credit.
No.
I want to see another Heimuli in the end zone. So I'm going to put in that plug right now for Aaron Roderick.
That will happen.
Okay.
Like, they'll hand it to you.
Personally felt like you were underutilized as an actual weapon at Stanford. Okay.
We can
Appreciate
say that
you.
from
I
our
appreciate
perch here.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Let's get a Heimuli in the end zone. In fact, let's get a Heimuli back on a poster for BYU football because your dad was on one of the most iconic BYU football posters as the Turbo Tongan.
Exactly.
In fact, last week we were discussing, hey, should we remake this poster? Are we going to redo this, Houston? Your brother is outstanding with photography.
We just need a truck,
we should
right?
find a big monster truck. Can we
just
do this?
We just need the monster truck. I got the lava. I have it on right now, actually. So under the desk, y'all don't see it, but it's under the desk. Yeah, we just need the truck. So if anyone's got a nice 1980s, I think there's a Chevy.
There was just a monster truck rally in Salt Lake. We just need to time it up.
Oh yeah, I just need to
time it up.
sneak out there right before they start and then just snap the photo and
Hold
run
the
back in.
football. Yeah. You got him the white crew socks, the white tennis shoes. That's great. We talked to Christopher Brooks last week. We're like, hey, Cal Stanford, do you know Houston? He's like, no, not really. So what's that relationship like forming now of like Cal Stanford guys at another school?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Again, we just kind of talked about it just, when we got together at first, we're like, okay, like, cool, man, I remember you from this, maybe from that. But now that we're both in the same place, it's kind of cool because we've kind of, in a weird, funny little, buried the axe, you could say, from Cal and Stanford, and come to a place where we both are like, okay, this is our school now. Like, this is where we belong. But having those backgrounds and having those rivalries definitely built some kind of relationship between me and him.
You, for obvious reasons, had distinct ties to BYU. You knew about the culture, the community, the Polynesian ties. But for a guy like Chris Brooks who comes in and you're talking with him at the basketball game on Saturday night, what were his first impressions of the BYU community?
Oh, he was massively impressed. He came to the game and he was looking around, and even I was looking around. I told you I didn't attend a BYU basketball game growing up, and we were just so amazed at how big the student section is, how big the community is here. And Chris loves it. He loves Provo. In fact, every time we're driving, you see him pull his phone up and start taking pictures of the mountains. Every time. Now I'm like, hey man, like we're gonna be seeing the mountains a lot more. He's like, nah, it's so cool. He loves it. He appreciates it, and so he loves Provo. He loves this environment, and I love it here. So we're both excited for this upcoming year.
Houston might have a future in this. Have you noticed that he's been addressing the camera?
Yes.
When it's like Richard G. Scott over here.
Look,
you know what I mean? Like he knows.
They know the broadcast industry.
They get it, right? They get it.
They know the broadcast industry.
Yeah. Do you like having the mic? Do you like you feel seem very comfortable in these?
I mean, so the thing is, the big phrase is "fake it till you make it." So fake it till I made it. And when I had the mic, I was nervous as heck. And like I said, I decided, you know what? Who is a good announcer that pumps people up? I said The Rock. So I would emulate The Rock when I had the mic during that night, and hopefully people got it. Maybe.
Okay.
I thought you were going to sing a family-friendly version of his song there for a second.
Right. It is about drive, and it is about power. So
Yes, it is.
Hey, before you go, and the Hema that we work with, not to be confused with your uncle Hema, who played football here, but your older brother Hema, outstanding producer. We're so lucky to have him. We're going to need you to give us some dirt on him, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, can you tell us something we don't know that would be interesting?
Oh, shoot. You don't know. He's an open book.
He is a pretty
He is
open
an-
book.
yeah.
Like, I know a lot about him. He's an incredible musician. He's got great vocals. We've been on long road trips. We're the COVID bros. Pretty sure we got COVID at the same time.
Best arms in the department?
He definitely has probably the best arm, second to me. Best arms. I don't know if you guys knew that Hema was a big skateboarder when he was in high school. He was like, when you think of like your typical like punk emo days.
I think big Polynesian.
Yeah, but imagine the big Polynesian on a small skateboard, and then him snapping it half the time he's riding. So
That's funny.
yeah, if I can find some more fun, I'll find some dirt for y'all. But
Thank you.
big skateboarder and a big emo punk guy back in the day.
Hey,
so.
I'm sure he helped us find the picture of you in the whatever. I think it's a male cheerleader uniform. Is that what it is?
I think it is, and I'm proud of being
looks
the.
good.
I know I was big into cheerleading back in the day.
It looks great. Looks great.
Houston, great to have you with us, man.
Appreciate you guys having me. I was happy to be here.
Do we have a marker? We've been.
Yeah, we got a pen. There's a king size shirt right there.
Can you sign? It's been a sec. I don't feel like we've done this in ages.
It's been a long time.
What did
since
an epidemic happen? A pandemic? Do you mind signing our flag wherever you want?
Let me do it.
It's been a million years.
Yes. We used to do this.
I'm so happy.
On the regular.
It's like it's 2019 again.
Put it right here.
Okay.
Yes.
He found an open area on the Sailor Coop flag.
He's the first Stanford transfer fullback to ever sign the flag. It's a very specific niche.
Go. There
Thanks,
you go.
Houston.
It's in the corner, so in case you want to look.
Not to be confused with Keanu Nielsen, who was also a Stanford transfer, but he was a receiver.
Not a fullback.
He was a receiver.
He was a receiver.
There you go.
That's why I broke that down, and I totally remembered that.